Oh my goodness. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Okay. The hour, the moment we all have been waiting for is here tonight. The hour, the moment we all have been waiting for is here. So, I don't know where you're watching from, but I will be glad, I will be happy to have you make a comment, tell us where you're watching from. Let's get this conversation started. They said it's a pre-conversation, but let me tell you, don't play with this because the conversation is real. It's going to be a life-changing experience. So tell us where you're watching from and tell us the platform you're watching from. Currently, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook. So 2 platforms. If you're watching on Facebook, say, I'm watching from Lagos on Facebook. I'm watching from Abuja on Facebook. I'm watching from Ghana on Facebook or YouTube. Come on. And if you don't mind, we want to see you invite your friends on the call. Let them join the call. The numbers are coming up already. So let me look at those who are on the call. I'm watching from Lagos on YouTube. Oh, good. Owerri on YouTube. Okay, it's like there is a fight between YouTube and Facebook. So let's see what's happening there. Someone says, I'm watching from Imsu Junction. The guy is very precise. So this lady said, I'm watching from Imsu Junction in Owerri. Amazing. Okay. Onyinye, the realtor, says she's watching from Owerri on YouTube. Come on, guys. Let's keep it coming. Our speaker tonight, our guest speaker tonight, Kenny Wokoye, is live and ready. He's live and ready. Okay, so Noble, if you're at the back end, help me put out the comments. Let people see their comments on. Henrietta said she's watching from Lagos and on YouTube. We have Orca on YouTube. The sales guru said he's watching from SMFEST headquarters on YouTube. Amazing. Okay, so, okay, thank you. Lagos, Badagry. We have a number of people who actually registered for this program from different parts of the country, outside the country, from Ghana, from Cameroon, from Dubai, amazing, amazing. Hey, John Okoye, I see you, son of man. I am Chisom, good to have you. I'm joining from United States of America on YouTube. Thank you. Akure, I see Fatima, she's watching from Akure and on Facebook. Good to have you guys. So the first thing you're going to do tonight, as someone who has got this opportunity, is to use the share button, push this conversation to your WhatsApp status, push it to your Facebook status, push it to your stories. Let everybody get to know about this chat tonight. So I want to say welcome everyone to our first SMFEST Owerri 2024 pre-conversation. We have put this event together to help people who have been following the SMFEST platform, both online and physically, to drive much value to them in a pre-event conversation so that you can get a tip of the iceberg of what the SMFEST event is like, the kind of value shared on the SMFEST platform. That is what we're bringing tonight. So without much ado, I would want to, if your hands are not busy, if you can make a comment, come on, let's give it up for, let's start clapping. Let's start appreciating our speaker who is going to join us tonight, because tonight is going to be, you're going to learn how to build an online business that will make you money, that will last. It's not about a one-time hit. It should be something sustainable. And Kenny is the guy who has done it for years. Kenny is the guy who has done it for years and is bringing his full experience to this conversation. He's going to show you how to build a 7-figure online business. Unless you're not ready, that is the only challenge you're going to have tonight, because I know Kenny will deliver this tonight. So if your hands are not busy, you got to put it together for Kenny Nwokoye as we bring him on board tonight. He is going to be sharing with us how to build a 7-figure business. Kenny, please don't come out. Please don't, just hold your peace there. Hold your peace there. I want to see the reactions. I want to see Kenny, just be coming down small, like small, okay? Just be coming. Can you see? We need the applause. We need the welcome. It's happening. It's happening. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm super glad to have all of you on the call. And as such, because we have shown our readiness, permit me to unveil our guests tonight. Mr. Kenny Nwokoye. Woo!
All right, welcome and good evening to everyone here. Can you guys hear me? Is my audio loud and clear?
Clearly. Your mic is very clear. We can hear you, sir.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I can see the comments is blowing up. Wow, awesome. And my people are also here. Super excited to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank
Yes. Thank you for the invitation. Do I have any of my people here? Type KN in the chat if you are one of my people. You know what I mean when I say my people. So type KN in the chat. Feel free to put a fire emoji beside that as well. Okay, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right. So once again, thank you very much, Excel and the SMFEST team for putting this together. We have always been very big on impact. We've always been very big on giving back and sharing the things that have worked for us, since we started doing business on the internet. I am super excited to get into the topic for today, which is, of course, the 5 pillars of a 7-figure online business. Right? I'm going to be diving deep into some very powerful concepts right here on this session tonight. So there are only 2 things you need if you want to get the full benefits of being on this call this evening. You need a notepad, something you are going to use to take notes, because if you don't, you will explode. You will explode. Your brain cannot carry what I'm about to teach you now. So get something that you're going to use to take some notes, and then get a pen. All right. And then towards the end of the session, hopefully, if we still have time, we'll take as many questions as possible, and then we can wrap it up for this evening. Okay. So Excel, I'm ready to go if you're ready to go.
Oh, we are ready, Mr. Kenny. Let's start this journey. Guys, are we ready? If you're ready, shout, write, I'm ready on the comment section. Say ready so that Kenny can say it. He's asking me, are we ready? Show that you're ready.
Awesome. So give us the word ready in the chat. Put a fire emoji if you want. All right.
Fire emoji can come with it. Are you ready? Let's type it in the comment section. Ready. Oh, I'm ready. This person said, I'm ready,
awesome.
So in case you don't.
I love the energy.
Amazing.
Okay, so let's dive into it, because something's about to happen right now. Something's about to happen right now. So I'm going to be teaching on the 5 pillars of a 7-figure online business. Now, I realize that many of us probably are just meeting me for the first time. So I will do a little bit of an introduction for the sake of context, right? I got into online business about half a decade ago. That was 2019 to be precise. And it was a circumstantial occurrence. Maybe we'll call it that. I had just lost my 9-to-5 job 1 year before. And I did freelancing for some time, right? I did freelancing for some time, and Excel. Okay, yeah, I couldn't see myself for a second. So I did freelancing for some time up until 2019 when I came across an online opportunity that I can say completely transformed everything for me. This online opportunity is affiliate marketing. That was in 2019 July. I remember I saw a Facebook ad, and when I saw that ad, I just knew, no, I definitely want to get myself involved in this. And so I decided to jump right in. I spent my last money getting the course that I spent my last money getting that course. It was 40,000 naira at the time. So when I got into it, the first month passed, second month passed, third month passed. There was no sale. Can anybody relate? Type no sales. Fourth month passed, fifth month passed. And then we got to the sixth month, and that's when the breakthrough happened. I made my first 2 sales. And it felt like Nepal brought light in my business for the first time. I was so excited. Yes, Abdul Malik, it was a classic case of what I ordered versus what I got, and some might have said that that was the definition of stagnation. Some might have said I was stagnated for 6 months. I don't see it as that, and I'll tell you why. You know, and then after this sixth month, I only made 2 sales, right? 2 sales. By the time I crossed the sixth month, the seventh month passed, eighth month passed, ninth month passed, 10th month, 11th month, and another sale did not come true. The drought had resumed. And so it was in the 11th month, 2020, COVID-19. That's when I had to pause and really check myself and ask myself, why is it that people are making money in this line of business, but me, I'm not making sales? I'm not getting results. What exactly is it that they are doing that I'm not doing? What is it that I am missing? Right? What is the missing piece of the puzzle? That was the question I had in my mind. And so when I looked very closely, I found the answer. And I'm not going to expose it immediately. I found the answer. I'm going to share it with you. Don't worry. So when I found this answer, I started applying what I realized in my business. And that was July 2020 when I started to apply this. So July 2020. That's when I saw for the first time ever in my business, 500,000 naira was made in 1 month. Now, someone might say 500,000 naira is not a lot of money. Well, maybe. But at that time, that money was heaven and earth, 500K a month. And so when I saw it, I nearly told myself we die here. But I said we live here because I said I want to do more of what is working. So I decided to double down on what was working. So by doubling down on it, I started getting better results in the business. What used to take me months to achieve started taking me weeks to achieve. What used to take me weeks at some point, as time was going on, what used to take me weeks to achieve now started taking days. Now started taking days to achieve, right? And as all of this were happening, right, it started from July 2020. And that was also the same time when I launched my coaching program. Many of us might know about it, the ZTHA Academy. I mean, Zero to Hero Affiliate, right? So that was when we launched Zero to Hero Affiliate. So I was building the coaching program alongside building my affiliate business. And let's just say fast forward 3 years down the line, a lot of things changed. A lot of things changed. That business that made me 2 sales in 11 months has now become a multiple 9-figure business that has transcended into coaching, speaking, consulting, and all whatnot, right? There's no need to go into the details of that. You guys can just check me out online. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this, excuse me, the reason why I'm sharing this is for you to understand that I have been there, I have done that, and I am still doing that when it comes to the area of building an internet business. And I'm going to share with you the 5 pillars of a 7-figure online business. And by the way, these 5 pillars can also be used to build an 8-figure business, a 9-figure business, whatever you want to use them to do. They are timeless principles, which when you apply them in your business just cannot stop growing online, period. Okay. So are we ready to go? Can you give me the word ready in the chat? Type the word ready if you're good to go. I decided not to use slides for this session. Normally I would have used slides, but I decided not to use slides for this session. So pay very close attention so you don't miss anything. Give me the word ready in the chat if you're good to go. I can see Excel is back. Excel, you want to say something? I can hear you though. Your mic is mute. I think your mic is mute.
I was saying that ready should be coming. That ready should be coming.
Yeah. Give me the word ready in the chat. All right, awesome. So let's dive in. We have a lot of things to cover in a very short space of time. So let's dive right into 5 pillars of a 7-figure online business. So pillar number 1. Now, how I realized pillar number 1 was one day when I was scrolling on Facebook, I saw a video from, you guys will know Sabri Subi, right? Sell like crazy. So I saw Sabri Subi's video, and there was something he said in that video. He said in his first 11 years, as he struggled, it was crazy the amount of struggle he had in the first 11 years in this business. Mine was 11 months. So I could relate, right? And so he said after that 11 years, one thing that he realized was that successful businesses are built by successful people, not the other way around. Most people think that in order for you to be successful, right? In order for you to be successful, something needs to happen, right? In other words, you need to make money. You need to make more money. You need to get more sales. You need to get more customers. That's how you become successful. But what he was saying is that successful businesses are built by successful people. It didn't make sense to me. So I had to dig deeper on that. I had to dig deeper into that. That's when I realized, in fact, as a matter of fact, that was when I shifted my obsession for I want to make money, I want to make sales, I want to get leads, I want to get customers. I shifted that obsession towards an obsession for growth, in mind, in knowledge, and skill. And that's how I discovered the first pillar. Because at that time in my business, many people in my space were getting results. In fact, I was part of many communities. I was part of communities where people were doing 6 figures a week, 7 figures a week. It was really, really great. Like the results on the communities were great, but I wasn't experiencing those results. As a matter of fact, when I would see people getting those results, it will make me feel some type of way. I'll be feeling like, why is it that all these people are getting these results? Why am I not getting results? Why is it not my own? I was always feeling some type of way. As a matter of fact, I was feeling envious to the extent that I was always attacking their results. How many of you can relate? When people get certain results like this, you will say, it's because he knows something that I don't know. That's why he's getting the results. Or you see, some people will be downplaying the authenticity of a result that they don't have just because they don't have that result. That used to be me, And so I realized that internally speaking, something needed to change. Something needed to change. And the first thing that needed to change was how I treated myself, my mindset about myself, my mindset about my business, and my mindset about money. Now, just to dig in deep on these 3 very briefly, okay? The first one I mentioned, my mindset about my business, okay? Let me in no particular order. My mindset about business. Now, I mentioned just now that I used to feel this envy, that I used to feel this thing that comes over me when I see people getting results. I used to think, it was almost as though success is scarce. I would say this person has this result because he or she has something or knows something that I don't know. I was always having a reason for my lack of results. And so I need to okay, awesome. The chat's a little bit distracted. So I was always having a reason why people were getting the results and I wasn't getting the results. So that was when I realized that there is such a thing as scarcity and abundance. Scarcity is basically what increases lack in your business and in your life. Abundance, just like the word suggests, right? Now, in my business, I was manifesting too much scarcity. You will see me always thinking that people cannot afford to buy what I'm selling. That's why they are not buying from me. You will see me saying, I don't know how to sell. That's why I'm not making sales. I always had a reason for my lack of results. And they were 100% valid. Most of the time we have reasons for our lack of results and they are 100% valid. But it doesn't get you the results, do they? So what had to change? One of the things that had to change, I stopped downplaying the authenticity of people's results and I started celebrating their wins instead. I started celebrating their wins instead. By celebrating them, and this right here was a massive realization I had in 2020, right? That you can never attract something that you attack. The more you attack something, the more you downplay the authenticity of something, the more it keeps running away from you. That's just the way it works. Like the more it keeps running away from you. So I stopped attacking the people who were getting results better than I was. I stopped fighting people that I should be learning from. And so I decided to give myself up to learning, and I decided to make myself more teachable, right? I decided to make myself more teachable, and something changed instantly. In fact, one thing I noticed was that I became happier just by changing that alone. I became happier. I was no longer looking for people to bash. I was no longer downplaying people's results. I was now more receptive to the value that could have transformed me, right? Okay. All right. Thank you. So I was now more receptive to the value that could have transformed me. So that was the first thing, right? I stopped attacking people's results and I started celebrating their wins instead. What was the second thing? The second thing was that even though at the time I used to think that people don't have money to buy what I'm selling, and it used to affect many of us, you know what I'm talking about. You always think that people cannot afford to buy what you're selling, and so it affects the way you price your products, it affects the way you sell, it affects the way you, in fact, if it affects how you even get into conversations with people, it affects how you handle yourself in those conversations. You're always expecting them to not be able to afford your product, and so you are always willing to compromise. You're always willing to compromise. You're always willing to take the shorter end of the stick all day, every day. You are the one who is even making excuses for them, saying that the economy is bad. So no problem. If you want to pay tomorrow, you can pay tomorrow. All of this, all of this is as a result of the scarcity mindset. Whenever you think that there is a limited supply of anything, a limited supply of customers, a limited supply of sales, a limited supply of leads, a limited supply of whatever it is, whenever you think that there's a limited supply of something in your business or out of your business or even in your life, it is a manifestation of scarcity, right? It is a manifestation of scarcity. There's this lady who I met. I like to give this example a lot. A lady I met 2 years ago who came into my DM and was complaining about how she had been doing online business for some time now, how she had been doing online business for some time, but she had not gotten any results. Results were not coming in. She had not made any sales. She was now concluding that the reason why she was not making sales in her business was because the market is saturated. How many of us are from a saturated market here? Can you type the word saturated in the chat? Come on, give me the word saturated. Yeah. Many of us are in that category of people. We believe that our markets are saturated because there are a lot of people doing the business that we're doing, a lot of people selling the products that we're selling. So as far as we're concerned, the market is saturated. That's what this lady told me. She said the reason why she was not making sales is because her market is saturated. I said, wow, you don't mean it. How come I'm making sales in the same market that is saturated? And she said, it's because you are you now. I said, oh, wow. So you are the kind of person that doesn't make sales, and I'm the kind of person that makes sales. After I laughed, and I told her, I said, on a more serious note, in a forest, that is full of zebras and antelopes, if you are a lion, is that not an advantage? And then she paused and she was like, I'm asking all of you now the same question. I'm asking everyone here on this call. Many of us here who are typing saturated in the chats. In a forest full of zebras and antelopes, if you are a lion, is that not an advantage? Now, somebody might not really understand what I mean by that, but most industries, 9 out of 10 industries, are saturated, yes, but with who? What quality of person is saturating those markets? 9 out of 10 people in every industry, 99% of people in every industry don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. I'm telling you. Many of them are doing copy and paste. Many of them are doing guesswork. Many are doing hope marketing. You name it. They don't know what they're doing. That's where the advantage is. So every of these markets, most of these markets that are in quote that seem saturated, they are full of zebras and antelopes. And if you become a lion, it becomes the unfair advantage. But how do you become a lion in a market or in a forest that is full of zebras and antelopes? So let me share that with you very briefly. It's very simple. Simply get good at what you do. And excuse me. Simply get good at what you do. And I'm going to share more about that as we go on in this session. Simply get good at what you do. By getting good at what you do, you automatically become top 15% in your niche, no matter what industry you are. By getting good. And I'm going to share more about how you can go from top 15 to even top 5%. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Right? So that's how I moved fast. I moved past the belief that people were better than me, or that people could not afford to buy what I was selling, or that the market was saturated, you name it, all of those things. That's how I moved past those things. Another way that I moved past those things very quickly, excuse me, in your business, you are either manifesting scarcity or you're manifesting abundance. It's one of the two. You are either experiencing scarcity in your business or you're experiencing abundance. And there are people who have developed the abilities, people such as myself, who have developed the ability to control what side of the table that we are on. There are people who are fighting for survival in a market where people are enjoying the ability to thrive, right? There are people who are on the side of thriving, while there are people who are on the side of surviving. Now, what determines what side of the table that you are on? Very, very quickly. What determines what side of the table you're on? It all comes down to the energies that you are manifesting in your business per time. There's a very good reason why I hold my time sacred. I don't give my time to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I stopped doing that a very long time ago. The reason why is because by protecting my time, I am protecting the energies that I allow into my space. By protecting my time, I am protecting my environment, right? Being super intentional about the people you let into your space can either make or break your business. We're talking about the spiritual side of business now. Many of us who follow Tony Robbins, you've heard him say it time and time. You heard him say it time and time again that business is a spiritual game, right? And it is 100%. It's played on perception, but it's also a spiritual game, right? So in every point of your business, at every point in your business, you're manifesting one energy. Either it's scarcity or you're manifesting abundance. You're increasing abundance in your business or you're increasing scarcity. It's one of the two. And it all depends on your energies per time. Now, very, very quickly, how do you increase abundance in your business? How do you get more abundance in your business? There are two kinds, right? There are two kinds of energies you can be manifesting. There's scarcity, there's abundance. But if you dig in deeper, if you want to increase abundance, then you need what we call expansive energies, right? I'm going to give you some examples of that. You need to be practicing, you need to be manifesting, you need to be doing more of things that increase abundance, like things like the expansive energies that you practice every single day, the expansive energies that you increase every single day, right? And the second category of energies is contractive energies. Things that increase lack are contractive energies. When you think about energies like fear, for example, right? The fear to market your business is a contractive energy, and it only increases lack of sales, lack of visibility, lack of leads, you name it, right? Fear is a contractive energy. And you need to be more intentional about being on the other side of fear, which is courage, right? Shame is a contractive energy. Shame is a contractive energy. For the sake of time, I can't give too many examples. Let's go towards the expansive side of things, right? So expansive energies that can increase abundance in your business. I usually like to say abundance is like a channel on DSTV, right? You tune to it based on the energies that you manifest per time. So if you're more expansive, right? If you're manifesting more expansive energies in your business, in your life in general, you will be seeing more abundance. As a matter of fact, you have abundance of health, wealth, you see abundance in your relationships, and you have command over the forces of favor that causes men to remember you for good. The forces of favor that causes men to do good things for you. The forces of favor that causes men to say yes to you. These things happen every single day. And the people who are experiencing these things at the abundance side of things are the people we call lucky. So interesting. I'd have loved to dig in deeper on this, but we don't have much time. So examples of expansive energies, right? Examples of these expansive energies, these are the ones you want to manifest more and more and more in your business. If you want to see more good things happen, you want to see more abundance in your business, you want to see more abundance in your relationships. So an example of an expansive energy is joy, right? Joy is a very powerful expansive energy. Another very powerful expansive energy is gratitude. Gratitude is a multiplier. As a matter of fact, I believe that gratitude is the most powerful expansive energy you can manifest anytime, any day. Why? Because gratitude is a multiplier. Is a multiplier. Another very powerful expansive energy is love. When you practice love, you increase abundance in your relationships. Is it not? When you practice love, you increase abundance in your relationships. It doesn't even matter whether the relationships are professional relationships or whether they are, it doesn't matter what kind of relationships they are, right? Practice love, you increase abundance in your relationships. Another very powerful expansive energy is empathy. Your ability to put yourself in other people's shoes to understand what they see and feel. Right? Empathy. Empathy is a very powerful, expansive energy that increases abundance in your relationships. When you make people feel like you understand them, they immediately know that you care. And when they know that you care, they will listen to anything that you have to tell them. One of the greatest human needs is the need to be understood. When you practice empathy, people feel like you understand them. You get more customers easily. I tell you, so easily when you practice empathy. Your ability to put yourself in people's shoes to understand what they see and what they feel. Right? So take note of these few examples of expansive energies I've listed for you and start practicing more of them every single day. If it's only gratitude that you practice every day, you will see the kind of changes you've never seen in a long time. Right? So that's how you increase abundance and you reduce scarcity in your business, in your life in general. Now, moving on to the next. Remember, I told you I didn't just have limiting mindsets or limiting beliefs in my business. I also had some of these limiting beliefs about myself because from my background, I was not born with a silver spoon. Right? I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I was born and raised in Benin City. Do we have anybody from Benin here? Type Benin in the chat. So I was born and raised in Benin, or Horror Road in Benin to be precise. Yeah. Born and raised in Horror Road. Did my schooling, my primary school in Benin, did my secondary school in Benin, went to my university in Benin, Uniben, yeah, greatest of the greatest. And in the process of that growth journey, a lot of things were programmed into my subconscious. And one of those things that was programmed into my subconscious was the belief that money doesn't grow on trees, right? You know, when you are in a family that people they are managing resources, you hear it a lot when you ask for something. The next response is that money does not grow on trees. I don't understand how you want me to get the money. Do you think that money grows on trees? So we used to hear that a lot. And it formed in my consciousness, it formed a belief that money is hard to get. In other words, in order for me to get money, I need to work hard. Like I need to engage in hard labor. It must come hard. If it doesn't come hard, then I can't make money. There are still people who believe this thing till today. I remember there was a day, this was in Dubai, right? I was taking a taxi from Dera Market back home, and it was a Nigerian guy that drove me. I remember when I posted this story that I'm about to share with you guys. That story went bonkers, like it went nuclear. Over 1.2 million views on that particular story, because the guy drove me from the market home. On the way home, we were discussing, we're talking about different issues of life and everything, and he was telling me about himself. One of the things that he told me was that he has been in Dubai for more than 10 years. And in that 10 years, right, he has been driving the taxi, right? And I told him about myself that I've only been in Dubai for like a year, about a year plus. And I told him some of the blessings I've experienced as a result of being in Dubai, you know. And he told me that as far as he's concerned, in fact, because I told him I've been working from home since 2018. True story. True story. I've been working from home since 2018. And next thing I hear is anybody that works how did they put it? They say anybody that works online or anybody that works behind the computer is doing something illegal. I was like, wow, there we go. I wasn't offended. Like, I didn't feel offended by the statement, because people will always reply you from knowledge or from belief. But you don't need to be offended when that happens, right? People will always project their knowledge or their beliefs towards you. And when their knowledge is superior to yours, you listen and you take notes. But when it's only beliefs that they are projecting onto you, you don't have to waste energy on such things, right? So when he projected that onto me, I smiled and I asked him, I said, "Why do you think so?" So he told me that when he was growing up, that his father used to have a farm, and every day they used to trek more than 2 kilometers to go and get, they used to trek more than 2 kilometers to the farm. That they used to trek more than 2 kilometers to the farm and all of that. And he was always, always about hard labor. They used to work so hard in order for them to get, harvests, right? So he was raised with the belief that, that you must work hard to make money. He said that's why anytime he sees these boys in Dubai, that anybody he sees who is not in some kind of physical activity, as far as he's concerned, it is illegal. I said, okay, I'm not trying to argue with you here, but I showed him some evidence. When I showed him evidence, light came. Right? When I showed him evidence, in fact, not just the evidence I showed him, but I showed him evidence, and I also, by virtue of the substance of my thought that I was sharing with him, he knew that this person is not like these boys. Because most of these guys, they don't have a lot of things to share with people. Like, they don't have solid thoughts to share with people, right? It's always surface level. So he was, for the first time, he was now contemplating, how do I change? How do I start? How do I get into? So I asked smart. I said, but it was you just now that said that it's only illegal things that they do on the internet, Abby. So, long story short, that belief was the reason why he was still engaging in that activity for 10 years. For 1 decade, he was still engaging in an activity that had not moved front or back. He was just surviving. He was literally surviving. Sometimes our beliefs can put us in a situation where we are it's not like we are going backward. Neither are we moving forward. You are just in one position, stuck. And the worst place you can be as a person who is in business is a place where you are not fulfilling purpose. The worst place you can build a business is in a place where you are not fulfilling purpose. If all you're making money for, if your only reason for making money is to pay your bills, you're not fulfilling purpose yet. You're not yet fulfilling purpose. So after that experience, I did help him. I shared a couple of things with him. He started applying those things and he got really great results. But I was sharing that with you just for you to understand that sometimes, because of the kind of background you are born into, it forms a kind of belief system. It forms a way of thinking. It forms a way of seeing life. It forms a way of seeing business. It forms a way of, in fact, the way you do things, the decisions that you take, it forms the basis for those things. So I had to change that. I knew I had to change that. So in order for me to change it, I had to switch my belief system. And instead of thinking that money had to come out of hard work, I changed that belief through the understanding that money comes through the exchange of value. That money is the shadow of value. And where there's value, that's where money flows. Now, you've heard this saying before. You've heard it so many times. If you want to make money, then give value. How many of us have heard that before? Then give value. But if I ask you now, what is value? Most people don't have a reference file in their brain for what value truly means. Like, they do not know what value is. And so, as far as they're concerned, value is my ability to go to ChatGPT and type something in ChatGPT and bring out some generic ChatGPT generated stuff and go and post it on every social platform. And that is value. As far as they are concerned, value is them going to go and follow influencers and thought leaders, and anything that they post, they copy it and go and post on their WhatsApp status, and that's value. It's only someone who doesn't truly understand what value means that will be engaging in such activities. Because value, in fact, before I give you that definition, let me give you an illustration. Okay, imagine I typed this post this morning. I was about to drop it on my Twitter account. Imagine you get stuck in a desert. Let's say it's Namibian desert, right? Imagine you get stuck in the Namibian desert and you've been stuck there for 21 days. And at this point, you are already almost dead. Like at this point, you are almost dead. By the way, how many of us wants to make money here? You think it's a good idea to make $1 million in the next 6 months? Can you type USD or type millions? Type millions in the chat. You think it's a good idea? Imagine if I give you $1 million now, won't you take it? Won't you like it? Will it not change your life? Will you not go and buy Lamborghini? Type millions in the chat if you believe that $1 million would do a lot of good for you in your life right now. Now imagine that you are stuck in the Namibian desert, and it's been 21 days. You're about to give up the ghost. You're about to run out of breath, right? You're about to faint. You're about to die. And all of a sudden, a mysterious man just comes out of nowhere with a Rolls Royce. By the way, there's no food and no water. It's the desert now. So at this point, you're almost dead. Mysterious man just appears from nowhere, right? He appears from nowhere with a Rolls Royce, and it appears with a suitcase in his hand. In that suitcase, right? In that suitcase, there is $1 million. Should we say you want $1 million? Your $1 million now has come for you. But in his second hand, he has a plate of well-prepared poundo yam with a goosey soup and a plate of 2 liters of Eva water. In this other hand is a tray of food, right? And in this second hand, there is a suitcase containing $1 million. And he looks at you. By the way, you only have 2 hours left to live at this point. Before you can get to the next town, you need at least 7 to 10 hours. And he says you need to choose between the two, between the Rolls Royce plus $1 million and a plate of food and water. Which one are you going to choose? Please type it in the chat. Which of them are you going to choose? What's your response? For many of us, somebody said that to chop first. Of course. Of course. Of course. He said that to chop first. Before Uncle. Exactly. Now, Excel, you want to say something?
No, I'm following the comments.
Okay. So, but I thought you want to make $1 million now. Maybe people were saying $1 million inside the chat just now. Why is it that you will take food over $1 million? I don't understand. Make it make
Plus
sense.
Rolls Royce.
Plus Rolls Royce. Why would you take food, ordinary poundo yam and a good soup, over Rolls Royce?
Even if you are Esau.
See, this is the easiest way for me to define what value is to you, right? Value is anything that is useful. Anything that is useful the most in a given context. That is what value is. Value is anything that is useful the most, emphasis on the most, in a given situation or context. That's what value is. So now that you know what value is, you will know that many of us have been trying to give Lamborghinis to people who are just looking for food. Many of us are just posting every single day on your WhatsApp status. You're trying to give people Lambos when they're just looking for food. You hear it all the time. Like, you hear it all the time. People buy courses and they don't get results because they're not looking to learn. The reason why they're not looking to learn is because the desire to, in fact, as a matter of fact, the need to survive is far greater than the desire to thrive. The reason why most people don't get results with courses is simply because of this fact. The need to survive outweighs the desire to thrive. It's only somebody that can survive that will be able to be thinking, hey, I want to make 1 million, or I want to make... It's who has eaten, it's who has paid their bills. So sometimes the reason why your money is not coming the way it should be coming is because you're trying to give a Lamborghini to somebody who is looking for a plate of food. I hope that makes sense. So that is what value really is. When I realized this, then I started looking inside my niche. I started looking inside my niche and and I'm going to share something with you when I get to pillar number 3. I looked inside my niche and I found something. I'll tell you what I found in pillar 3, right? So how many of us are getting value? Are you getting value? Is something useful coming to you now? Can you type value in the chats? Okay. So yes, my mindset about money, right? That was one of the mindsets I had about money that had to change, right? That was one of the mindsets about money that had to change. Another mindset I used to have about money was the belief that money cannot buy happiness. That's the poor man's anthem. Poor men, they come up with philosophies to support their poverty. They come up with all kinds of crazy philosophies that supports their poverty. There's this guy, another very interesting guy from Pakistan, a Pakistani guy who drove me home one day, and the guy was telling me about one tourist that came into town, and the tourist was talking about the fact that money cannot buy happiness. And he said that he used to think that money cannot buy happiness until he came into Dubai. And when he came into Dubai, the first thing he thought was that I thought that money cannot buy happiness. But I'm sure that's the place where that statement, Habibi, come to Dubai. I'm sure that's where it came from. So there's a saying in Dubai that yes, money cannot buy happiness, but Habibi, come to Dubai. So that's just on a lighter note. Now, I used to think that money cannot buy happiness, and it used to cause me to dampen my desire to aspire for wealth, right? It used to cause me to dampen it. And as a result of that, I was always running away from opportunities that could have moved my life forward. I was always shying away from opportunities that could have moved my life forward. But you know what I realized over time? Money cannot buy happiness, yes, but money can buy you options. It's the same reason why I define poverty as the absence of options, right? Right now, I am on this session on more than one device, and that's only because I have options, right? I could have joined on my tablet, I could have joined on my phone, I could have joined on my MacBook, I am joining on my HP, and that's because I have options. Poverty is the absence of options. If you were to choose between a life of options and a life without options, which would you choose? Comment in the chats. Which one would you choose? Most people would choose a life of options. But when you have conversations with them, you now begin, they begin to project their beliefs of, yes, money cannot buy happiness, please, I cannot come and go and kill myself, right? That's how you know. So I switched from the belief that money cannot buy happiness to the belief that money can buy options. I would rather choose a life of options anytime, any day, anywhere. Right? I would rather choose a life of options. So another very interesting mindset I need to mention here, because it's crucial that I mention this one. You see, one of the things that was keeping me stuck back then was the fact that, again, remember what I said earlier, that I used to have reasons for why I was not getting results. I was always having reasons, all kinds of reasons why I was not getting results in my business. And I realized that the reason for that is because I had fixed mindsets about certain things. I had fixed mindsets about certain things, right? What is a fixed mindset? How do you know you have a fixed mindset? When you have a reason why you are the way you are and you have not gotten results, when you say stuff like, I don't know how to sell because I'm an introvert, check yourself. It's possible that you might have a fixed mindset. When you say stuff like, I don't have results because I don't have something, or I can't do something, or I don't know something, or you name it, fill in the blanks. You know what I'm talking about. Whenever you have a reason for your lack of result, for your current circumstance, it might just be as a result of a fixed mindset, right? It might just be as a result of a fixed mindset. When you find it that people are getting results at a particular thing that you're not getting results at, it's usually, most times, it's because of a fixed mindset. How did I know? Because when I moved over from a fixed mindset to the other side, which is a growth mindset, I started seeing massive changes. As a matter of fact, you don't want to be the person who always has a reason why you don't have results. Instead, you want to ask questions. You want to ask the right questions. As a matter of fact, someone who has a growth mindset asks the right questions. They ask questions like, what do I have to do? Right? What can I do? The magic 4 words. The magic 4 words that opens doors of possibilities. What can I do? What can I do? Whenever you ask that question, always have a pen and paper somewhere, because God supplies ideas. Right? What can I do? What can I change? What do I have to do? What do I have to change? Who do I need to become? Who do I need to become? I'm going to dig deeper into that very soon. Who do I need to become? Right? What do I have to pay? What do I have to pay? Because sometimes many of us, we can't commit to things because we have no sense of responsibility towards paying for things. We believe that everything should come to us free, fast, and easy, right? We know many of us are here now. Some of us are here now. Yeah, you're in that WhatsApp group. You believe that everything must come to you free, fast, and easy. If it is not free, it's not for you. If it is not fast, it's not for you. If it's not easy, it's not for you. But if it was really free, fast, and easy, like if it was free, fast, and easy to become successful, don't you think everybody would have become successful today? Right? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the same reason why most people like to fly forward in life without process. Many of us are trying to get success without process. I'm going to share more on that. Whenever you try to skip the process of something, you have the illusion of speed. And you will get to the front. And when you get to the front, you're going to see why you need to go back into the process. There's only one shortcut to success. So it's called process, right? So what you want to do is what you want to move over from having a fixed mindset about different things, always saying stuff like, I don't know how to use social media. I'm not a social media person. We hear that one a lot. That one's a very common one. Excuse me. I'm not a social media person. I'm an introvert. I don't have any arguments there. The only question I used to ask is, when you came out of your mother's womb, it's a very, very simple question. When you came out of your mother's womb, did the doctor bring you out and put one small label on your head and say, this one is introvert, next? And then he puts one small label on your head, the next person here, they say, is this one is extrovert, next? So the answer is no, because I don't think that's what happened to me. There was a point in our lives at some point, because human beings love to have an explanation for everything. We love to have an explanation for everything. So at some point in your life, you said, no, I am the way I am. I do the way I do because I am an introvert. But little do the people who do that know that the world is full of introverts who are crushing it in a world of extroverts. Exhibit A. When I tell people that I'm an introvert, follow Como. People used to think I'm a snob once upon a time. That's how bad. People used to think I was proud because I don't know how to talk to people. They would think I will enter a room, I'll just be quiet, I won't greet anybody. They think it was pride. I was just manifesting the fullness of my introvertedness. Until I realized, see, it was Russell Brunson I saw. I don't know how many of us know Russell Brunson. I don't know him personally, but by just looking at that guy from a distance, you can tell that this guy right here is a full-come introvert. But you see that there is an introvert in him who is crushing it in a world of extroverts simply because he doesn't have a fixed mindset about his introvertedness. He has a growth mindset. And so because of that, he can experience the life, he can experience the growth that an extrovert will experience. He can experience the possibilities that an extrovert will experience. Sometimes we only just need to expand our idea of what is possible for us. Every time you put a definition on why you can't do something, what are you doing? You're putting a lead. You're putting a stop sign in front of progress. That's what you're doing. You're putting a stop sign. You're saying this progress is not for me. That's what you're doing. So what's the solution here? Develop that growth mindset and start asking the right questions. What can I do? What do I have to do? What do I need to change? Who do I need to become? Right? You guys have seen that my video that went viral, right? You can't chase a new level with an old you. You can't chase a new level with an old you. So you have to reinvent yourself in order for you to become that next person. I'm going to share more about that, right? So that's pillar number one. For the sake of time, let's move on to the second pillar very quickly. Second pillar. So pillar number one is what? It's mindset, right? It's mindset. Business is a spiritual game. It's 80% mindset. It's a spiritual game, right? So the second pillar very quickly is what? Knowledge. and skill. The second pillar, knowledge and skill. Remember what I said about the saturated market, that no market is actually saturated. There are just a lot of people who don't know what they are doing. There is no market that is actually saturated. And how do you separate yourself from those people? How do you become the one who stands out in your marketplace? It is through your substance of thought, which you get through knowledge, and your ability to do, which is your competency. That's how you stand out, right? It's your substance of thought, which you get through your knowledge and your ability to do. When I changed my obsession from I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money, to I want to grow in my knowledge and skill, that's when everything changed. Because everything that everybody else was dying to get started attracting themselves to me. So as I was becoming a higher version of myself, people, higher value people became attracted into my network. Right? Scriptural, kings will come to the brightness of your rising. But that rising does not happen until you begin to invest. Somebody say invest. And it's free. Most people don't truly understand what personal development means. We hear that word used a lot, especially online, right? We hear it a lot. Personal development. You have to develop yourself. You have to develop yourself. You have to develop yourself. It's great. Yes, you need to develop yourself. But what does personal development really mean? What is the meaning? What does it mean? When people say develop yourself, what does it truly mean? Some people think that personal development is all about reading books. It's great to read books, so don't get me wrong. But there are 3 dimensions of self that makes up personal development, right? There are 3 dimensions of self. Let me share it very quickly with us. 3 dimensions of self. I've indirectly said them already, but I want to go deeper on them so you can have a deeper understanding. The 3 dimensions of self. It starts with 1, the spiritual self. The spiritual self. And the spiritual self becomes stronger through your knowledge of Him who created you. The spiritual self becomes stronger through your knowledge of Him who created you. People who do not have a relationship with God, you know, because they are weak spiritually. And every time you spend knowing God is time you spend knowing yourself, because you're created in the image and the likeness of God. So every time you spend knowing who God is time you spend knowing who you are. People who usually say, I don't know my purpose, I don't know who I am. When you hear people say that, check deeper. Just check deeper. You'll find someone who doesn't truly know their God, because they who know their God will be strong and do what? So the spiritual self is made stronger through your knowledge of Him who created you. As simple as that. Many of us who don't have a study Bible, get a study Bible, right? Whatever your religion is, but just make sure you have an instrument that you use to study your creator, because you were created in the image and the likeness. So the more you study the person who created you, the more you understand who you are and your abilities as a creator, right? There's a friend of mine who I usually discuss this thing with, and I remember the first time we discussed this particular concept, I was like, when God created the heavens and the earth, He said, let there be light, right? He said, let there be light. Let there be light. He had already created it, so He just manifested light, basically. So He said, let there be light, and there was light. He's the master of all creation, so He can make things to manifest instantly, and that's exactly what happened. He said, let there be light, and there was light. So when He said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. So image meaning He looks like us, right? Let's make man in our own image means He looks like us. And then in our own likeness, meaning what? In our nature. So we share we look like Him, and we share the same nature with Him, right? When He said, let there be light, and there was light, what happened? He said, mind and mouth came together in agreement, and it became creation. And as the master of all creation, it manifested instantly. Because you share the same ability, because you share the same likeness, many of us don't know it, but we are creating chaos in our lives. See, I'm telling you straight up, we create the chaos we experience in our lives by ourselves 100% of the time, simply because every time mind and mouth comes together in agreement about anything, it doesn't matter what it is, but every time mind and mouth comes together in agreement, it becomes creation. And it's only going to become a prophecy fulfilled. Why do you think that when your pastor is praying for you and you attach belief to it, something happens? Why does it happen? Because mind and mouth came together in agreement. Your mind came together in agreement with his mouth, and it became creation. And your amen made it manifest. But many of us don't really know that in our everyday lives, we are creating scenarios where mind and mouth comes together in agreement, even without us knowing. That's why I don't say anything I don't want to see in my life. I don't say whatever it is I don't want to see more of, I don't say. It's not your saying it that is dangerous. Many of us were so loose-tongued. Your tongues are so loose and you prophesy all kinds of chaos into your life. It's not the fact that you say it that is dangerous. It's the belief that you attach to it that causes it to become created. And it becomes a prophecy fulfilled. Why do you think that a woman, imagine a woman who is just trying to make ends meet, right? She's forced, maybe she's selling plantain chips, right? The woman is selling plantain chips. She doesn't have money. She's just trying to make sure that her kids get food to eat. And then next thing, this big man, this rich man comes along, rain had just fallen. And next thing you know, he drives by her and he splashes water on her. He splashes water on her, and her plantain chips that she just came out of the house. So her plantain chips falls over and falls on the ground. Everything falls, and there's mud everywhere. There's mud everywhere. The thing falls to the ground. What happens? At that point in time, she's thinking, oh, she's boiling from the inside. And she says, everything that this man, everything that he has, he will lose it. He said, everything you have, you will lose it. In that moment, that thing she said has been created because mind and mouth came together in agreement. You guys see it happen all the time in Hollywood movies. You know what I'm talking about. So fast forward like 5 years, 10 years down the line, the man will start looking for the woman because at that point, his life has turned upside down. He has lost everything. Because by one act, a woman said something and believed it so deeply in her spirit that it became created. So whenever mind and mouth can see, this is what you need to know. We are created in the image and in the likeness of the master creator. So what that means is that you have everything it takes to create the life that you want. As a matter of fact, you created today. You created today. Either by design or by neglect. Most of us don't know this. You created today, either by design or by neglect. It's why I usually say you never walk into a day you have not designed. Most people live life by neglect. They react their way through life. They basically react their way through life. You go into a day, you've not planned anything, you're just like, oh yeah, we just go. Anything goes, right? Anything goes. But you never walk into a day you have not planned because the day will happen to you. When life happens to you, you're gonna learn. Right? Mind and mouth comes together in agreement. Whatever happens, it becomes creation. Just understand this. And it's only a matter of time it becomes manifested. There's this illustration that my mentor loves to give. There's this illustration he loves to give. Imagine I was with you physically, right? Imagine I was with you physically, and I put this phone in front of you. If I put this phone in front of you, right, at that point in time, you can touch it, right? You can touch it. At that point in time, you can touch it. Say, yeah, I can touch the phone. That means it's real, right? Is it real? Does that mean it's real? It's real, right? Okay, cool. Now, you can't see me physically. Right now, you can't see me physically. I'm not in front of you physically. I am in a virtual, like live. But you can still see the phone, can't you? Can't you see the phone? Can you see the phone? Can you see the phone? Yes, awesome. You can see the phone. That means it's real, right? Because you can still see it, isn't it? But if I took away this phone now and maybe I use another of my device, I snap the phone. Excuse me. If I snap the phone and then I show you a picture of the phone, does it mean it's real? Does it still mean it's real? Does it still mean it's real? It means it's real, right? Awesome. Now, imagine you don't see a picture of the phone at all, right? You're no longer seeing the picture of the phone. I take away everything. I take away the phone. I take away the picture. I take away everything. Is the phone still real? Is the phone still real? The phone is still real. Now, why is the phone real? It's because it exists, right? If it exists, then it is real. Reality is not what you see. Reality is what exists. whether it's in your mind or in your hand. So you see that what determines what comes into your hand is when mind and mouth comes together in agreement, it becomes creation, and you manifest it through the actions that you're taking in that direction. If you understand this thing I just told you now, you can create any quality of life that you want for yourself in the next 6 months to 1 year. I'll repeat it again for emphasis so that you can write it and make it a mantra, a daily lifestyle. When mind and mouth come together in agreement, it becomes creation. It becomes manifest through the actions that you are intentionally taking in that direction. And as you become the person who gets that result, it becomes manifest. So knowledge and skill. I was talking about the 3 dimensions of self, right? The 3 dimensions of self. And that was just spiritual that we finished down. Now, the second dimension of self, very quickly. The second dimension of self is your intellectual self. Your intellectual self is made stronger by what you learn. By what you learn. Emphasis on what you learn. It is what you know that makes your intellectual self strong. Many of us, we always have this tendency to say, I don't know what to teach, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know what to create in content, I don't know what to talk about in my content. It's because there is no content inside. It's out of the abundance that you have that you can give. You can't give what you don't have. So if you're not learning, you can't impact. You can't, let me share this. Let me share this. Very, very important. Excuse me. The essence of learning is not just to know. The essence of learning is not just to know. The essence of learning is also not just to do. It's not just to teach, right? It's not to teach. This is a very common occurrence. It happens a lot. I was dragging people recently. One of my posts. The essence of learning is not to teach. It is a faulty philosophy that everything you learn, you should teach so that you can learn it better. Lie. Everything you learn, you should do so that you can get experience. Out of the abundance of your experience, you teach. That's basically documentation, right? So back to what I was saying, your intellectual self becomes stronger based on what you know. The more you learn, the more you know. The more you know, the more intellect you develop, right? The more the quality of your thoughts. When you share thoughts like this, people will be like, wow, this guy is wow, this girl is wow, right? The quality of your thoughts is improved based on what you know. So the more you learn, the more you know, and the more your intellectual self becomes stronger, right? Very important stuff. So that's the second dimension of self. So the third dimension of self. The third dimension of self is the competent self. The competent self is made stronger based on what you can do, right? It's made stronger based on what you do, right? Your abilities. The competent self becomes stronger with every skill that you acquire. With every skill you acquire, the competent self becomes stronger. When I started in 2020, I had 2 skills: graphics design, motion graphics. Today, I have 23 skills. I don't want to mention all of them. But all these skills have come together to help me build a multiple 9-figure business. So your competent self becomes stronger with every skill that you acquire. So while everybody is busy focusing on, the surface level stuff, copy and paste, yada, 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 you are being obsessed about your spiritual self, your intellectual self, and your competent self. The stronger the 3 dimensions of self becomes, the more unstoppable you become. Right? The more unstoppable you become. Your competency will always determine your ability to get results, not what you know. This is a singular reason why so many of us have bought courses, so many courses, by the way, but have not gotten results with those courses that we bought. It's because somehow, I don't know how it happened, but somehow we have been brainwashed into thinking that All we need is just one new piece of information. And by getting access to that information, we can unlock the kind of results that we have or that we want in our business or in our life. Or how wrong is that? How wrong is that? If only information was all you needed. Many of us here, you guys have bought so many courses. Am I lying? Yeah, I bought many courses, but the thing is not resulting for you. It's not producing results. It's simply because having information is not enough. Having information is not enough. Your information must translate to competency before it can deliver you results. Now, this is also the same reason why many people are stuck in a place where they are copying and pasting and buying all this copy and paste tactics and strategies, right? Simple, like it's a singular reason why they're always doing that. They're always trying to copy and paste, always trying to. Now, what happens is that when you do things like that, and I'm sure there are a few of us here who do stuff like that, like you're always trying to copy something, always trying to copy from someone else. Now, what happens is that it might generate you results, emphasis on might. It might make you one sale, it might make you two sales, okay? But the problem is you're always going to be going back to the source. You're always going to be depending on the source because the model is, see, wealth is gotten by principles. Any human being who obeys the principles will get the result. So you can't follow a slim-fitted version of a principle and expect to get the best outcome. Half-baked actions don't produce breakthrough outcomes. So you don't say that by copying my friend who is successful, I'm going to become successful automatically. Lie. Not in today's society. Because you can copy what he did, but you cannot copy the identity that he created. So the model is not do so that you can have. Most of us, we believe that in order for us to get something, we need to do something, is it not? So we feel that if we're not getting the results that we want, it's because of what we're doing. We're not doing the right thing. That's a very common belief, is it not? We believe that I'm not doing the right thing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. That's a very common thing to say, right? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why I'm getting it wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's always the thing that you hear a lot, right? I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why I'm getting it wrong. It's a very common thing that most people say, isn't it? It's a very common thing that most people say. So the model that we operate our lives through is a do so that I can have model. It's a do so that I can have. That's why many people are struggling. They're trying to do something different. So they try something different. They try to do something different so that they can get the result that they want. But when you really zoom in on it, you find out that that's not how it works. No. You don't do so that you can have. They want to get the result without becoming the person who gets the results. In order for you to get a particular outcome every time you try, you have to become the person who gets the result so that when you try, you get it. That's it. When you have developed the capacity to do something, okay? When you have developed the capacity to do something, the least you will fall back to is that capacity. For example, anytime I want to get 1,000 leads, I can get 1,000 leads like this in 24 hours, anytime I want. Because I've developed a certain capacity, so much so that I know exactly what to do when I wake up in the morning to put 1,000 leads into a funnel. So the model is not do so that you can have, it's be so that you can do so that you can have. I hope that makes sense. So it's become the person who gets the result so that you can do the things that get the results so that you can have the results. And how do you become the person who gets the results? The 3 dimensions of self. I hope that makes sense. Awesome stuff. Okay. So that's the second pillar. So it's what? It's knowledge, it's skill. Now let's zoom in a little bit on skill. Okay. For every industry, it doesn't matter what industry you find yourself, every industry has a set of skills that you call relevant skills. If you're in affiliate marketing, there are skills that are relevant skills that if you get good at those things, you will become good, period. You will become good at doing what you do. That's it. If you're in fashion design, there are a set of skills that are referred to as relevant skills. If you have those skills, you will get results because you have those skills, right? It's the same thing. I hope that makes sense. So In every industry, there are a set of skills that you must have in order for you to become competent. So, so it is not about only what you know, it's also the capacity to do. So this is what I usually say. You have not truly learned. You have not truly learned until there is a change in your behavior. You have not truly learned until there's a change in your ability. You have not truly learned until there's a change in your results, until there's a change in your outcome. You have not truly learned. The evidence of learning is in a change in results, in your outcome, and in your ability, even in your behavior as well. I hope that makes sense. So let's move to the third pillar now. For the sake of time, the third pillar is your vehicle. Okay. Your vehicle. I'm going to go over all five again before we wrap it up. So the third pillar is the vehicle. And what do I mean? What do I mean when I say the word vehicle? Vehicle, like a car, right? Like a car. What's the vehicle? So the vehicle is the one thing that's going to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Is that not what a vehicle does? It takes you from where you are to where you want to be. Right? It takes you from a point to a destination. That's what a vehicle does. Let me share a very short story with you. 2020. It was in 2020. I had this conversation with my mom. She was always bashing me. She was always bashing me about the fact that I was doing too many things at the same time. She was always bashing me about the fact that I was doing too many things at the same time. Always coming hard on me, telling me, "Nah, you shouldn't be doing too many things. You should be doing all these things at the same time." I always had a response for her. I always had a very solid response. And my response was, I mean, come on now. You can put all your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify your income. You have to diversify your income. I told her you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to change, you have to supplement your income. I was using grammar. How many of us are doing multiple things to make money? Can you type multiple in the chats? Type multiple, sorry. Type multiple in the chats. You're doing more than one thing. Just be honest. It's fine. It's fine for you to be honest. We're here to learn. Type multiple. I was doing multiple things. I was doing 4 things. As a matter of fact, I was doing graphics design. I was doing motion graphics, that's animated videos. I was doing adverts and stuff like that for people. I was doing affiliate marketing. I was doing number 4 was branding. So I used to do branding as well for people, right? Now, the combination of all these 4 things that I just mentioned could not generate me 70,000 naira in a month. I paused for emphasis. The combination of the 4 of them could not make me more than 70,000 naira in a month. Imagine that. Ha! Can you imagine? And on any month when I will make up to that 70,000, it will be like I've hammered for that month too. There are some of us here, you people know yourself, you are doing like 3, 4, 5, depending. And even every month, you're not doing more than 100K per month. Let's be honest. You know yourself. You're not making more than 100,000 naira a month. So if it was truly by the number of things that you are doing that you make more money, why are you not as rich as Dangote and the rest of them? You see how society has brainwashed some of us into trouble. We've put ourselves in trouble. And for some of us, it's not even your fault. For some of us, it's the reason why you have multiple sources of income, in quotes. I call them cash pots. The reason why you have multiple cash pots is not even because of the fact that you want to diversify your income. Oh, that's not why you. It's because that first one that you were doing was not making you enough money. And number 2 came and say, this one will make you plenty more money, to make you more money in a short space of time. But because you already had feelings for number 1, you already had feelings. Many of us we need to develop feelings we call passion for our things that we are doing. So because you already developed feelings for the number 1, you say, no, let me still be doing the number 1. Let me do number 2 too. Let me add it so that we'll have multiple streams of income. You have multiple cash pots. But you see, the problem is that why it's not making you more money is because those things you're doing are all active cash pots. They all require your time, your energy, and your resources. And you see that thing called time? Time is a very limited resource. You have only 24 hours of it every day. And every time I wish I have a cup of or glass or water, something I can use to give this illustration. Every time that you are putting your time in more than one place at a time, when you're putting your time inside cashpot number one, cashpot number two, what happens is that you have some of that content, you have some of your time inside each one, but you don't have your full potential in each one. So because of that, you dampen your ability to get the highest level of result in any one of those three things, in any one of those four things, in any one of those five things. That's what it truly means to spread yourself thin. And it's the same reason why you can never scale at the same time. You can't scale multiple cash pots at the same time. You will burn out. That's what leads to burnout. That is what leads to burnout. And this is where the vehicle comes to play. You see, what most people don't know is that what they are chasing. In fact, let me even tell you something. How many of us have seen people who are getting results in our niche? Type results, just type results, right? In every niche, there are people who are outstanding. There are people who are getting results. It seems like things just come so easy for them. It's like, wait, what is this thing that these people are using? So which magic are they using that is making their results to be coming so easily like this? Type results. There are people who are like that. But you see that these people don't seem to have so many things going on for them. They're just doing one thing. I'll tell you the difference between them and you. You might even be in their industry, but the difference between them and you is that they're doing one thing at scale. It's the same reason why I came up with that concept that everything you are looking for in multiple places is inside one vehicle, but at scale. Everything you're looking for in multiple cash pots is inside one vehicle, but at scale. Some people are receiving stray bullets. It's not intentional. We are here to learn. Everything you are looking for in multiple cash pots is inside one, but at scale. In order for you to activate scale in one cash pot, you are going to have to break up with some of those your passions that you have developed feelings for. You know yourself. You know yourself. Oh, I will not mention names. Do you know the danger of passion? Passion is dangerous. Most people don't say this, but passion is dangerous. Passion is dangerous because when you have passion for something, you can do it all day, every day, and not get paid for it, but you will do it anyway. You will do it. When you are doing that thing, it just feels like, oh my God, I'm enjoying myself. I'm getting fulfillment. This thing that gives me fulfillment. Fulfillment. You are fulfillmenting yourself in a broke state of mind. Many people are so passionately broke because of this thing. I'm telling you, just because we have developed so much passion for something, we don't mind being broke as long as we're getting fulfillment from it. But what you don't know is that you're spending time in that passion that is not making you any money. In fact, I realized this the hard way in 2020, that sometimes you need to put your passion in the passenger seat and put something solid in the driver's seat that will take you to a point where you can consider yourself to be financially buoyant enough to fund your passions. Sometimes you need to put the passenger seat. You need to put the passion in the passenger seat. I'm telling you. There's so many people who are passionately broke because of this. You're fulfilled, but you're broke. So a hard decision needs to be made, right? A hard decision needs to be made. And that decision is that I want to, the decision that needs to be made, you need to decide that you're going to pick one vehicle, one vehicle, and you're going to stick to that vehicle until it gets you to a point where you can consider yourself to be financially buoyant enough to fund your passions. And let me tell you something. When you were born, and this is true, I found out this is true. When you were born, you were only passionate about crying. I don't think there's anybody here who didn't cry. The only thing we're passionate about when we were born was crying. Every other thing we developed. Passion is not inborn, it's developed. So I usually just smile when I hear people who say, oh, this is the thing that I'm passionate about. And okay. Passion is not inborn, it is developed. There was a time when I didn't even know about the existence of internet marketing. Could I have said at that time that I was passionate about what I didn't know? The answer is no. So you have to pick one vehicle, right? You have to pick one vehicle. I'm going to tell you what to do next. After you pick one vehicle, what do you do next? After you pick one vehicle, the next thing for you to do is to move on to pillar number 4. You move on to pillar number 4 and you deploy a framework into that vehicle. You develop a framework or a system into that vehicle. That's pillar number 4, frameworks and systems. You need a predictable way to get consistent results with that vehicle. Did you hear what I said? You need a predictable way to get consistent results with that vehicle. And how do you do this? By using a framework, which is a combination of systems to get the results that you want. So frameworks and systems. So let's start with systems, right? Systems, anything that you apply, documented, that gets you a result every single time. It's a system. For example, how I get my leads every single time is a system because I know exactly what to do. I know the steps to take. It's documented. So it's a system. Is it not? It's a system. So you need a predictable way that gets you consistent results. If you don't have any, here are some of the ways you can get one. One, you can buy from someone who has one. Obviously, duh. You can get from someone who has one. That is one of the ways you can get yourself a system or a framework, combination of systems. I usually prefer to work with frameworks because when you have a combination of systems working for you in your business, you know all the things that are working. When you have frameworks and systems working in your business, you know what is working. You know where your results are coming from. You know where your results are coming from. There's no guesswork involved. There's some of us here. There are some of us here. Okay, I think I'm back now. Okay. All right, cool. So someone was asking something about vehicle. Your vehicle is not your skill. Your vehicle is the business in which you apply your skill. That's your vehicle. Your vehicle is the business inside which you apply your skills. So pick one. Pick one and go all in. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Pick one and go all in. So for the sake of time, when you deploy your framework, your systems in your business, what's the next thing to do? The idea behind deploying a framework or a system in your business is so that you can find what works. That's the first step. So you want to go towards scaling, Abby. I'm giving you a blueprint you can take from zero to scale. So the first thing is to do is what? To find what works. So excuse me. So when I implement your system in my business, I'm only doing it not because I want to make sales only, but it's because I want to find what works. Because when I find what works, automatically I will get the results every time. Does that make sense? So I am deploying the system in my business because I want to find what works. So I will deploy the system. I will try it. I will execute it. I will try it as many times in as many ways as I have to so that I can get the result. I am not afraid to test because industry leaders are a product of a series of tests that went right. So I'm not afraid to test stuff out. I would test, I would try, I would tweak, I will retest until I find what works. How do you know when you have found what works? When you apply something and it got you the result, and you apply it the second time and it got you the result again, you apply it the third time and it got you the result again, you found what works. So when you find what works, what's the next thing to do? That's when you now want to what? You want to tweak, you want to release, you want to repeat. That's what we call doubling down, right? That's what we call doubling down. You tweak, you rinse, you repeat. You tweak what's not working, you rinse and repeat what's working. You tweak what's not working, you rinse and repeat what's working. You tweak what's not working, you rinse and repeat what's working. So what's going to happen when you get to this point is you will start getting more results for less time and effort spent. How many people have gotten to that point before in their business? So you will start getting more results with less time and effort spent. Isn't that interesting? And what's going to happen as a result of this is that you're going to build momentum. right? You will build momentum. So as you keep rinsing and repeating, it's just like Alex Omozi would say, you keep getting more gains for every rep you put in. For every rep you put in, you keep getting more gains. So your building of that momentum is getting easier and easier for you to get results with every time and energy you spend. So what's going to happen? People at some point, you will now start seeing people saying stuff like, this guy is so good at this thing. This thing is getting easier for him. He's so good at it and all that, right? It's coming so easy to him. It's like, why is it so easy for him and stuff like that? It's because he has built momentum. You don't get distracted when you get results. Many of us who have shiny object syndrome, the moment you get your high off of getting results, your high comes from getting results, not from building anything to last. Your high comes from getting results. The moment you get the results, you've gotten that dopamine hit onto the next. Onto the next. The process of tweaking, rinsing, and repeating feels like work for so many people. So they only get stuck when they get results. Once they get results, onto the next. They go and start something again and find what works again. So their high comes from finding what works. That's what is called the shiny object syndrome. But that's not where you should stop. You should double down. You should tweak, rinse, repeat. So when you tweak, rinse, repeat, you build momentum. So when you've gotten to that point of momentum, here's how you know. You're going to start getting a lot of people sending you DMs. You're going to start getting a lot of people wanting to have your contact. People are going to want to call you. People are going to want to give you money. It will be so easy to get people to give you money. People will literally be spraying you with their money. Take my money, help my life. You will look like a messiah. It creates a messiah effect. You will become popular depending on what industry you are. You become popular. Everybody wants you to come and speak at their event. Everybody is looking for a piece of your brain. People want to pick your brain when you are at momentum. But all that is just an indicator that you are ready to scale. Most people mistake momentum for arrival. Most people, I'm telling you, I've seen this happen time and time again. I even mistook it at the very first time I experienced it. I mistook it, so I know. Like the very first time. And I've seen so many people experience it themselves. And they mistook it for arrival because it feels so good. Feels so much like arrival. When you enter somewhere like this, you enter an event like this, and even if you're not the speaker, right? Okay, no. Yeah, actually, even if you're not the speaker at the event, people recognize you, people see you, they're like, oh my God, my fave, my fave. That's at momentum. That usually happens at momentum. And most people, they mistake momentum for arrival. The moment you feel you have arrived at momentum, that's where you will stop. That's your stop point. That's your junction. You don't go past that point. Momentum is only an indicator that you are ready to scale. It's only an indicator that you are ready to what? To scale. So now that you know what happens at momentum, how do you now scale? Remember, you are doing all of this in one vehicle, right? You are doing all of this in one vehicle. And remember what I said, to build momentum, what you tweak what's not working, and you rinse and repeat what's working. You rinse and repeat. You never want to see if it's working. Why are you stopping it? Why are you disturbing it? Okay. So once you get to that point of momentum, that's when you want to scale. So how do you scale? Very quickly, you scale with what? Better systems, delegation, automation. You scale with better systems. So you already have systems in your business, but now you are improving the quality of those systems. You are also adding more systems to those things, and you are delegating what you don't want to do yourself anymore, because there's a level to which if you do not apply these three things, delegation, systems, better systems, delegation, automation, when you're ready to scale, you're only going to be scaling problems. You are only going to be scaling problems for yourself. So you have to become a team player in order for you to delegate. Learn how to build a team. I had to learn that one, and I had to learn it the hard way. So learn how to build a team, right? Learn how to build a team so that you can delegate properly. You can delegate well. And when it comes to hiring people, you want to hire people that you cannot afford. You can start out with people you can afford, but the best way to build a business is by hiring people you cannot afford. And if you want to hire people that you cannot afford, you need to leverage pillar number 5. And I'm going to tell you what that is in a moment from now. So delegate, automate, use better systems. That's how you scale. Okay. So that's pillar number 4, isn't it? Right? Now, the final pillar, pillar number 5. So, pillar number 5 is relationships. Pillar number 5 is relationships. Now, why I decided to use relationships as the last pillar is because a lot of people say your network is your net worth. Many of us know Ugochukwu Omeogo. Do you know Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogo? He's my mentor. That guy, that man has shown me so many powerful things about wealth. And one of the first things I learned from him, many of us who have learned from him before, you definitely know this too, is that your network is not what determines your net worth. When it comes to relationship, your network is not what determines your net worth. It is your net worth that attracts your network, and your network amplifies your net worth. It is your net worth when you focus on the 3 dimensions of self. In the process of that growth that happens, your net worth increases, and when that net worth increases, it attracts your network. And as that is going on, the people who are coming into your network amplifies your net worth. That's what happens. It's a massive shift, isn't it? The 3 types of relationship you want to have. The 3 types of relationships. The 3 types of relationships that you want to have if you want to be able to build a multiple 7-figure business in the next 6 months to 1 year. Relationship number 1, mentor to mentee. You need someone who has been there, who has done that, is still doing that, who can show you what to do, who can provide you with clarity, direction, and speed. You need a mentor-mentee relationship. You need a mentor, right? Relationship number 2, because of time, you need mentees. Right? You need mentees. You need people who your value would improve their lives. That's what I mean by mentees. You need people who your value will improve their lives, because those are the people who become your fans. Those are the people who become your advertisers. The light, the ones who will share you to their friends, to their families, you name it. They'll tell everybody about you. You need mentees. But don't be in a hurry to go and mentor people. Don't be the person who is teaching what you should be doing. Out of the doing, you get experience. Out of the experience, you teach. The best person you can help today is who you were yesterday. So while some of us might say, I'm not yet big yet. I'm not yet big yet. I'm not yet like Mr. Excel that is very big on social media. I'm not yet like Mark Angel that is very big on social media. You are one step ahead in experience from someone who has not gotten the kind of results that you have, who doesn't have the kind of experience that you have. Some of those experiences that we downplay. There are a lot of people who wish they had that kind of experience, those kind of results that you have. But the problem is our definition of result is how much money you've made. The definition, your interpretation of results is how much money you've made. And so every other thing is discounted. You don't care about any other thing. It's all about how much money you've made. Whereas there are a lot of things that have improved in your life in the last 1 year, a lot of things. In the area of mind, for example, I've just taught you about the 3 dimensions of self. In your spiritual self, your spiritual life, a lot has improved about your spiritual life. Your intellectual life, you've learned a lot of things. And because of those things you've learned, you become more competent at certain things. You have gained experience. You have even gotten some other results. The results themselves might not even translate to money, but there are some things you can do that many people cannot do. Why are you, for goodness sake, why are you not mentoring? I'm not saying you should bring people into your circle to mentor them. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, why are you not sharing your value? Why are you not projecting your value? Why are you not shining your light, for goodness sake? Why? Why are you not shining that light? So that's the second kind of relationship that you need. The third kind of relationship is a relationship with colleagues, your equals. your colleagues, right? Like minds. Like minds. Wealth is grown, wealth is built in communities. If you've ever been in a mastermind and you know what I'm talking about, when you join a mastermind and you see people who have been there, like for example, people like myself now, I've been there, I've done that for so many years, for 5 years plus. When I join a mastermind of people who are like me, it's just imagine 10 people. Iron sharpens iron. That's why you need colleagues, right? You need a mastermind. So you need mentors, you need mentees, you need a mastermind. Now, when it comes to mentors, something I need to mention, you need the spirit of discernment. You need the spirit of discernment for you to know when to prioritize relationships over transactions. Because as you grow, as your spirit begins to grow, your intellect begins to grow, your competency begins to grow, you are going to attract quality people. And when those quality people come, you need the spirit of discernment for you to know when to prioritize relationships over transactions. Because there are some doors that only relationships can open for you. In fact, as you begin to make more money, you find out that the higher you go, the less you need money. The higher you go, the less you need money, the more you need relationships. The higher you go, the more you need quality relationships, the more you need someone who you can call, not someone who you can give money to. So, but again, you need to have that spirit of discernment to be able to know when to prioritize the relationships over transactions, right? So let's go over all 5 pillars again, right? All 5 pillars. Pillar number 1, your mindset, right? Pillar number 2, your skill set and knowledge. So knowledge and skill. So 1 and 2 come together to be mind, knowledge, and skill, my signature. Pillar number three is the vehicle. So you need to pick one vehicle, go all in on that one vehicle. Number 4, so you need to find what works, double down, tweak, rinse, repeat, build momentum and skill. All right. So frameworks and systems will help you do that. Right. So you need to have a framework or systems in your business that helps you get results every single time. And then number 5 is relationships. Okay. And that, my friends, are the 5 pillars that will help you build a 7-figure, not just 7-figure actually, that helped me build a multiple 9-figure internet business. Is Mr. Agile Excel with us? Let's see if we can take some questions before we wrap it up.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you so much. 5 pillars that can help you build a 7-figure online business. Fully shared, and I'm certain that people have questions that they want to ask. Thank you so much, Kenny. Everything you've said, like, I don't know, someone is already asking themselves question on this call saying, what am I going to do next? Oh my God. So I've been doing like 3 things. I've been doing like 4 things. Okay, so which ones am I going to cut out so I can now focus on my vehicle? And while I focus on the vehicle, I develop a structure, system, and framework that can help that to happen. Then expand my network within the same place. You know, when you mention mastermind, sometimes when you are in the midst of people who are like you see your element shows up, you know. So guys, I'm looking at somebody said I have a question. Please drop your question in the comment section so that Mr. Kenny will attend to that. I don't know if you got some value in this session. Please drop your reaction, say yes, I got a lot of value. Then if you have some questions, please share that in the comment section right now so that we can ask Mr. Kenny. And okay, thank you. People since they don't have any question, they're saying it has been a great value for them. All right, so I'll drop this. What are the top 5 books you would recommend for someone struggling with writing effectively?
Okay, for someone who is struggling with writing, well, it depends on what your writing is for. If it's for sales writing, like sales messaging, then you should definitely study Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. It's going to pop open a lot of ideas in your head. You should study 7-Figure Marketing Copy by Sean Vosler. So copywriting secrets is just like the word is pronounced, and then Jim Edwards is JIMEDWARDS, Jim Edwards, and then get Seven Figure Marketing Copy by Sean Vossler. Sean Vossler is spelled SEANVOSSLER, right? Sean Vossler. Get those two books; it would open up something for you. You will scream when you see what's inside there. And
Okay,
then
thank.
I, you don't even need up to 5 books, to be honest. I mean, it's not about the number of books you read; it's about what you get from those books. I've only read 2 copywriting books till today, and see how far I've come. So I don't think you need a crowd of books to get the results that you want. Just find something and go crazy with taking action. I am one of those people. I consider myself a user of books, not a reader of books. So when I find a book for a particular purpose, in fact, sometimes, most times, before I even go into the third chapter, I'm already getting results from the book because I'm using
Correct.
that book, I'm applying that book, I'm taking steps. Immediately, I see an action step, right? I translate it into results.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How do you deal with doing and managing multiple things to ensure your one chosen vehicle moves efficiently?
The
This
question
person
is a
that
little bit is
he has
contradictory. The
refused,
question
he
is
has refused to cancel the other vehicles. He wants to carry like three vehicles at once, but wants one
you
to
want
move efficiently. So
you want to carry all the vehicles at the same time. No, it doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't work that way. You only need one. I'm telling you, like I've done 4 at the same time and it didn't make me more than 70K a month. And I've used one to build a 90 figure business. So you only need one. Once you choose the one, then go to pillar number 4. You don't need to waste any time. Go straight to pillar number 4, build yourself a system in your business. Multiple systems together come together to form frameworks, and you work with that. Find what works, build momentum, scale, make money, get rich.
get rich. Get rich. So this guy say, how do I sell my project vision to people, sir? I'm trying to build a team and it's challenge for me getting them on board full time.
Hmm. Isn't that very interesting? So I'll share something with you. I'm currently building a team, and my team is made up of some of the most amazing people you can imagine. Like, in fact, most all of them, I can't afford any of the people on my team. I'm telling you, I can't afford these guys. But it's interesting that even though I can't afford them, the day I requested for them to send me account details so that I can add them to my payroll, they all refused to send me the account details. They refused to send me the account details. And that was just because of the fact that not only had they developed a very high sense of ownership towards the vision that we're building, but they they had also they had also looked beyond themselves. I'll tell you something. Whenever you give, you create a feeling of indebtedness. Always, Precious, I hope you're listening to this. Always be the first to give. Always be the first to give. Never get into a conversation where somebody gives before you. Always be the first. When you give, you have the upper hand. Whoever you give to is becoming indebted to you. And that person is going to feel like, oh my God, I need to pay this person back. Like I just feel like I owe this guy so much. I owe this guy so much. And why wouldn't they buy your vision when you have given them so much already? Do you understand? And then another thing I'll also tell you is sometimes you need to start building first. People buy the vision along the way. Not everybody's going to buy when they don't see it. See, the nature of vision is that people don't usually see it until it's fully formed. So you don't need to be the guy who is trying to sell a vision before it. You don't always need to be the guy who's trying to sell the vision before it's formed. Just get busy working on your vision. Destiny helpers are accelerators. Sometimes they come into your space and they accelerate the rate at which you're getting that vision into reality. That's what they do. But let the people who buy your vision find you building it.
Correct. Correct. And you mentioned that you said something here that you should be able to give. There is one of my friend
Give
who
first.
taught me.
Always be the first to give.
He said my friend taught me the three principles of giving. Says give, give, then give again.
Oh yeah.
before. Okay,
Always
have
be
to
giving.
complete that.
Always be giving. It always
Give,
comes back.
give, give
Value,
before you
value
ask
always
for.
comes back to the source.
Correct. Correct. So, hope you got that. And again, Kenny said those who are you're bringing on board are actually accelerators. It simply means you're already moving before they show up. So you have to be moving for them
That's
to
it.
come in and accelerate. So ensure you are building what it is you want them to come on board with. Be passionate about it. Show them that you are committed to it. Let your resources be in what it is you believe in. The evidence of your belief is how much resources you're committing to that. Resources, I mean, it's time, energy, money. Don't come to come and invest in what you're not investing in. Hello. So that is it. Okay, let's take this question. Uh, can I get one? I think I found one question here. How do I put? Okay, let me check out this one. Can you look at this person? It says, for someone who sells physical products and want to take it online, do you think we can apply these steps too?
Okay, so there are three steps. For those of us who want to sell physical products online, you only need three steps. There's only three steps you need to take. But before you take the three steps, always make sure you find a gap. Right? I usually like to say that the best place you can build a business is from inside a gap. And what is a gap? A gap is a place inside your market where people are hungry. You're solving a hunger. When you're solving a hunger, when you're finding a solution to a problem, when you're feeling a need, you're feeling a gap. That's what you're doing. So first find a gap in your marketplace. And when you do find that gap, then you can implement these three things I'm about to mention. Number one, build yourself a high value offer. I can't go into the details of what a high value offer looks like right now, but don't sell a product, sell an offer. Build a high value offer, right? And then the second thing, you want to
Please,
place
please,
that high
Kenny,
value
please.
offer.
Don't run it. Can you tell us what you mean by build a high value offer? And you also said
Okay.
don't sell a product, sell an offer. People want to know about that.
Okay. Right. Okay. I find this a very, very common practice. Most people are hawking products, right? When you come online and you put a product in front of people and you say you need to buy this product, buy this product, buy this product, it will help your life, it will help your life, buy this product, buy this product, buy this product. You are hawking. That's what you're doing. There's no difference between what you are doing and what the guy who is selling gala in the hold up is doing. The only thing is that you're doing your own online. So the difference between the person who is hawking and the person who is truly selling is one talks about the product, the other talks about a result. Right? The person who is selling talks about a result. The person who is hawking talks about a product. So don't be the guy who is always coming online to come and show us one big ass product that does one kind of thing, right? Be the guy who comes online to talk about a result and how people are getting that result and how you are the ultimate solution to the problem that people have as it relates to that product, right? So it's like I come online and I share stories, transformation stories that students of mine are getting. These guys are doing amazing things. This guy used to struggle with ABC. Now he's no longer struggling with ABC. Guess what? All he did was get the solution that I'm about to show you, and I show you the solution. At that point, I'm not hawking a product. I'm selling a result, right? So a high value offer emphasizes on the outcome. That's the first thing. A high value offer emphasizes on the outcome. Two, a higher value offer has a higher perceived value than the price. I usually like to say if the value, excuse me, the price is never too high if the value is higher. Most people don't know how to create perception. They don't know how to elevate perception. We can't go into the details of that here. But if you learn how to elevate perception when you're communicating in your sales messages, you will find out that the value of your offers will go through the roof. And no matter what price you place on it, like for example, I charge $7,500 for 12 weeks of private coaching right now. And everybody who are my clients still feel like they're getting the longer end of the stick. So why is it that that's the case? It's simple. The value, see, if this all you get from this session, you have gotten gold, right? The price is never too high when the value is higher. Okay, so that's also how you know a high
The
value offer
price
as
is
well.
never too high when the value is higher, right?
Yes, exactly, right. And then another very important thing I need to mention: a very great offer is branded. So you should brand your offers. Your offer should have a name. It should be like a package. You should package it well. And then aside from that, there's also the the aspect of what people get. So an incentive. Do you have an incentive that makes people act now, not later? You have to have some kind of powerful incentive that people are going to see. It could be a complementary product, it could be a complementary service, it could be whatever it is, right? But something that incentivizes people to take the action now, not later. Right? Most people call that bonuses. So those are your bonuses. What do you have that will make people want to act now and not later? Those are some of the factors that increase the value of your offer. But what I'm just saying is you need a high value offer that you're going to put into a well thought out sales process, and then you drive lots and lots of traffic to it. See, that's all. So if you apply these three things I just mentioned now, high value offer, that's H. Sales process, that's S, right? And then traffic, that's T. So HST, you can call this the HST framework. I love frameworks. So you could call this the HST framework. So if you implement the HST framework, your essence of doing that is just to find what works. When you find what works, you double down, you tweak, you rinse, you repeat, tweak, rinse, repeat, build momentum. When you've got momentum, you scale with more systems, delegation, and automation. Mr. Dennis, I hope I've answered your question.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you so much, Kenny. This lady is asking, she said, please use food stuff business as an example to talk about results. I think
Ah,
I know this name. Okay, so I think this person sells foodstuffs. So she's looking at selling it online. So say use the foodstuff as an example to talk about results. Okay, can you do that?
Excel. Excel, I have only 4 minutes left. I don't know if I even have 4 minutes at this point, but I have just 4 minutes left because my battery is about to die off. But
Okay.
I'll just quickly, you said I should use foodstuff as an example on how to talk about results. Is that what she's
Online,
saying?
let's say I think I wanted to actually help the person here because such a
Mm.
person will come online and say, "Oh, I have very good plantains. Oh, the
Mm.
plantain is this. Oh,
Okay.
the plantain is this." No, it's not about the plantain. Ken is saying, talk about the ease of access. What are you doing for the person who is going to get your plantain, your yam? They don't need to go to the market, the native market to access. That you're going to give them.
Convenience. Don't
Yeah,
sell
you
plantains,
sell
sell
convenience.
convenience.
You sell the
Yep.
fact that they can get their yam even when they can't come out again from the house to the market, that somebody can deliver it to them. That is something you can sell online. How
That's
your
it.
yam, how you the kind of yam you send out don't have all of those people are afraid of in their yam. Maybe they buy a yam, the next day is already bad. That yours goes through some kind of stuff. You get yours from
Let me even give her.
maybe go ahead.
Sorry to cut Excel, Excel. Let me even give her one thing that just came to my mind now, right? Because one thing I've learned over time is that money loves speed. The moment you begin to sell speed, you will make more money. So there was this time we were having this conference, we're organizing the conference, right? And we had the Abuja edition, and it was so powerful. We had this big photographer. I don't want to mention his name. Very big photographer. Many people know him. He used to film many of the biggest music concerts. So he came with his team as an attendee. He came, and then his team were positioned in different positions. Even though he was an attendee, they were taking shots, they were taking videos, and all those things, right? When they finished at the end of the event, we went home. We all went home. Myself and all the speakers, we all went to the same apartment. So while we were there, he called the host. So he called the host, and he was like, I want to give you something. So please tell me where you are. Let me come and give it to you." And so he came. When he came, guess what he came with? He came with a montage from the event, like the event that we just came home from. Oh, are you getting me? The event we just came home from. He brought a montage from that event. Mind blowing. And if you see the quality of this edit, the quality of the video, everything was mind blowing. We could not hide how impressed we were by not just the quality, but the speed at which that thing was delivered. Do you understand? Whereas the guys that were hired to do the videos of the event say that they will take like 2 weeks before they deliver montage. Guess what happened? Immediately he came with that video, he was given the contract to follow us to Ghana. We went with him to Ghana for he was the one that handled videos for Ghana. It wasn't planned. Money loves speed. The same. Why do you think Fastest Cakes has grown? Is it because they are creating, they are baking cake? You think it's cake that is making them grow? It's speed. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. This is super. Prissy Ezala, understand that your delivery and the quality of what you're delivering to your customers can be your selling point online. Okay. Right. So Kenny, you have something else to share with us,
I
so
have
that
to even be
we
jumping out right now. As a matter of fact, I have to be jumping out right now. But the only thing I just want to say lastly is nobody's better than you, right? I don't know who's watching this right now, but nobody's better than you. If all you obsess about for the next 6 months is the three dimensions of you, your spiritual self, your intellectual self, and your competent self, in 6 months from now, you're going to send me a message and you thank me for this session. I hope that's going to happen. Thank you very much for the invitation
and
today.
before before
Thank you
before
so
Kenny
much.
goes out, Kenny is going to be at SM Fest Owerri 2024, and
Yes.
so and it's going to be this. What you've heard tonight is just a tip of the iceberg of what Kenny is going to be sharing at the event. So at the SM Festival 2024, you're going to be having these speakers who will be at the event speaking to us and covering different areas of uh, um, social media, tech, content creation, a whole lot of things. John Obidi will be there. Nathaniel Disu, who you have seen severally on channels and Arise TV talking about stock market. He's going to tell you where to put in your money, where to invest your money. Ray Wari Pikin is there. Mark Angel is there. Kenny is there. Dr. Nina, the Commissioner for Social Economy, Imo State is there. Myself, I'm there. Dr. Mayowa is there. Basten is there. I'm telling you, the SMPS of this year is going to be mind blowing. And we have a virtual ticket for everyone who is participating here tonight for SM Fest. The ticket for SM Fest is for virtual participation is 7,000 naira. But because you're on this call tonight, you can access that ticket for 5,000 naira only. You can access that ticket for 5,000 naira only. And as such, if you are doing that, you are going to, in the next 24 hours of this conversation, you can access our virtual ticket for 5,000 naira only. Please, Noble, are you on the call? Drop me the link to the virtual ticket on this call. So you can go there right now. This is the virtual ticket link.
Excel, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kelly. I can
Yeah,
hear you getting
I just want to quickly chip this in before my battery goes off. I just want to quickly chip this in for everybody who is going to buy their tickets tonight. Only those who will buy the tickets tonight. I'm going to
okay.
host a special fast track coaching call. So I call it the 5 pillars fast track coaching call. So it's going to be a 2-hour coaching call where I show you how you can get faster results with the 5 pillars that I just shared with you. For only those who are going to be getting their tickets tonight before midnight. Right now it's 10:02 p.m. West African time. So as long as you get your ticket before midnight tonight, you will join for the special fast track coaching call with me. And that call is what, $597. You better not play with this, okay? Back
Amazing.
to you, Hector.
Wow, thank you so much. That is crazy. I didn't think about this. Kenny is already giving you guys something if you get your virtual ticket for SM Fest Owerri 2024. Someone is asking, will they have access to the event virtually? Yes. You are going to be given a link to stream the event on the 19th of October 2024 if you get your ticket tonight. The price of that ticket is 7,000, but if you get it tonight at 5,000, you are going to have access to the event. And Kenny says he is also going to have a private coaching call with you. That is double for you. That is double. So go to smfest.org/virtual, smfest.org/virtual. You'll find the virtual ticket platform. You'll find the virtual ticket platform. I don't know if I could share my screen so you can see that. This is what it is like. I don't know. Can anybody see my screen? Can you see my screen? Yes, if you can. Is my screen visible? Okay, so I think I may need to remove the banner. Can add, you can add two for you and some other participants. Okay, so you can get one ticket, you can get two tickets, and the ticket is 5,000. It's supposed to be 7K, but because of this call tonight, if you get a ticket tonight, is one ticket have been taken already from the number that we said we're going to give out tonight. So if you get your ticket tonight, you are going to be having access to what Mr. Kenny promised, and you also have access to the SMFest event streamed online. I hope you've got value tonight. If you are getting that ticket, please get it right away. Get it right away so you don't miss out on the promise. So you don't miss out on the promise. All right. So I want to say thank you everyone for showing up on the call. It's been a wonderful night. I know you got massive value. I know you got loads of value. If you got value on this call tonight, I want to see your comments. I want to see your comments. Say thank you to our guest, Kenny, for his contribution tonight. Say thank you to Kenny. Say thank you to Kenny. So thank you everyone for showing up. We are super happy. We are super glad. Thank you, Kenny. Say thank you, Kenny. Say and thank you to SM First for hosting this. The fact is that this conversation is going to continue. We have John Obidi coming on this conversation before the SM Fest. We have Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogo, who is our mentor, coming for this conversation next time. So don't miss it for any reason. Bringing Mr. Ugochukwu Omeogo and bringing John Obidi on this conversation even before SM Fest. So don't miss it for any reason. So if you're getting the ticket tonight, look at it here, smfest.org/virtual, so you can have access to the SMFest event happening on the 19th of October 2024. So guys, it's been a good night and I'm super glad you got value. Thank you so much everyone for showing up. Please say thank you to Mr. Kenny. Talk about the value you got on this show online on your Facebook. Tag SMFest, tag Mr. Kenny Wokoye, tag Agile Excel. Say, share the value you got. 5 pillars of building 7-figure online business, shared by Mr. Kenny tonight. I know you got a lot of value. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. We are so happy you got value. There is physical tickets for the event. The physical ticket for the event is on smfest.org/tickets. To get ticket to attend the event, you go to smfest.org/tickets. That is where you will find the ticket for the event. If you are within the Southeast region and you want to attend the SM Fest event, this is where you get your ticket for the event. Please get a ticket tonight. It is something that you need to be at SM Fest. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope to see you guys in the next SM Fest pre SM Fest conversation that will be hosting with other speakers that will be coming on board. Don't forget, we still have Mr. Ugochukwu Omeago, we still have John Obidi who will be on this conversation with us. Okay? And don't forget, the big day is coming very soon on the 19th of October 2024. We have Founders Mixer. If you're a founder, we have Founders Mixer happening on the Friday, that is on 18th. Then we'll have SM Fest main event on the 19th, and we have a masterclass on the 20th. It's going to be full of value. So I want everyone who showed up on this call to come for this event. Don't forget to invite your friends. send the link for ticket to them. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.